Hi folks, it's me Michaela and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a very brief, very short August reading wrap up because guess what? In August I didn't read much. Did not read much. I was on vacation for 2 weeks with family and I did not read the entire time I was there, so my reading wrap up for August is really only for the last 2 weeks of August, but we're still here to talk about it, so let's talk about it. Classic fashion, I sat down to film and forgot my iPad, so hold on. So let's talk about my very sad stats for August reading. In August, I read 2 books. I have started a new one. I'm currently reading Daydream by Hannah Grace, which will be in a reading vlog soon, but did not finish that in August, only started it. So I read 2 books. One was a romance, one was a nonfiction, one was owned and physical read, one was loaned and a digital read from Libby, and they were both new to me. I had an average star rating of 4 stars. We'll talk about this in a moment. I read a total of 633 pages in August, which is an average book length of 317 pages and an average of 20 pages per day. Considering that's actually really for 2 weeks and not the full month, it's not too bad, but it's definitely my worst month of the year because, wow, I just didn't read for quite a large amount of those days. But the books I did read were both quite good. The first one was Beach Read by Emily Henry. I did finally read this. I had this whole reading beach read on a beach plan for my vacation. It did not happen. But when I got back, I did read it. And I gave this 4 stars. I really liked it. I liked both of our characters and the setting. It's very fun, very good vibes. I like Emily Henry books. This is my second one. I read Funny Story and now I've read Beach Read. I think I will read some more Emily Henry. It's very like literary romance, so there's a lot going on, both kind of like in the plot and the characters' lives outside of just the romance, and it like complements the romance really well. It makes things a bit more complex, and I really enjoy that about Emily Henry plots for her romance stories. I also find her writing to be very funny. I like a good little chuckle. I like her humor. I feel like it lines up with mine. I understand why Emily Henry books are so popular. I'm not sure if this was like her first big popular book, if Book Lovers was first. I can't remember, but I know that there's I've read Beach Read, I've read Funny Story, there's Happy Place, Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation. Are those all of the Emily Henry books? I don't know if there's more, but I will be reading more. I will look into more Emily Henry and be reading more Emily Henry because I just had a really great time with this book. It was super fun. Once I actually started reading it, I did read it very quickly. In July, I felt like my reading was slowing down, and I think taking a break away from reading made me very excited to get back to it, and now there's no worries of a reading slump around here. I'm excited to read, and we're happy for it. So that's great. My other book that I read in August, I actually did a reading vlog for, and that was reading Elliot Page's memoir, Pageboy. I will link the video for you. With memoir books, as I did in my Crying in H Mart video and the June wrap up, I read Crying in H Mart in June. I explained I don't rate memoirs, not because I think like they don't deserve a rating, but just because it's weird to put a rating on somebody's life. I still, in my reading vlog, give lots of opinions on my thoughts of the writing and the execution of the writing in the book and like the effectiveness of it, if I enjoy it or not. But it's just like the idea of slapping a number to be like, this book was a this, in my brain it just doesn't feel right, so I don't rate it. But I did really enjoy Elliot Page's memoir, and it really made me feel like I need to read more memoirs, and I also need to read more queer-centered fiction in general. I have not been reading enough LGBTQ plus authors or stories, and I think that's because I haven't been looking for it. It hasn't come to me naturally, and I think I need to start looking for it because it's important for me to read those experiences. A huge part of reading for me is being able to educate yourself on the experience of others. And if I continue to read books that are super relatable to me all the time, which is great to do as well, it's great to feel seen in books, but I think it's also important to see others, and I need to do more of that. And reading Elliot Page's memoir really kind of shone a light on that for me, so I'm really glad I read it. I started watching Umbrella Academy, and that kind of sparked my brain into thinking about Elliot Page's memoir and that I should read it, and it was a very good read. I do recommend his memoir. I think he's a very creative and wonderful storyteller, so it's definitely worth a read. It's also like a good length of memoir. It's not super long and doesn't feel too beefy, but it gets all of the points home that he's wanting to. I think you should read it. You should do that. And those were the 2 books I read in August. Like I said, this is like going to be a short video this week. I would love for it to be longer, but I'm not going to bore you talking about books unnecessarily. And, like I only read 2 books, so here we are. I will be reading more in September. Don't worry, the September reading wrap up is not going to be this short. But for now, that's all I gotta say this week. So if you happen to like this video, make sure to give it a like, give it a little thumbs up. If you happen to like me, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on Emily Henry, Elliot Page's memoir if you've read either of those, or let me know your favorite read in August. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Bye-bye.